Hey guys, welcome to my channel, VeniLegiAmavi, which means I came, I read, I loved. So today I'm going to be kind of refilming my Booktube Newbie Tag. I've already filmed it once. You'll notice I have far fewer books behind me and far bluer hair in that video. But there were some answers that so I haven't uploaded it yet, and I just found that I had some answers that just changed, and I felt already just didn't reflect what I wanted to do with Booktube. So long story short, there's gonna be clips of both probably in this video. So we'll be alternating between past Kelsey and now Kelsey, because there are some things that I feel like I put really well there and that I absolutely stand beside, and there are other things that I said that I was just kind of that's kind of lame and not a real answer. Or things that I said that I was kind of you're just so awkward. Just stop. Shh. So yeah, here we go. One is, why did you start this channel? I decided to start making a Booktube channel because I don't have a lot of friends in Victoria. I just moved here in August, and I really miss talking with my friends about books, and I've kind of lost contact with a lot of my friends. They're all around the world now. But anyway, so part of it is that I just want to talk about the books that I've been reading, and I want to be inspired by other readers and get to talk and chat and share what we loved and disliked and book recommendations with each other. And another part of why I decided to make a Booktube channel is just because I think that it'll be a really fun project to do both for myself and with Declan's. So there will be some videos I think where he will join me in reviewing some books or talking about books, or doing some of these tags, which will be fun. And there might even be some videos where it's just him doing a little book review, so that would be fun too, hopefully. He's in school right now though, so he's kind of stressed about that, so he won't be nearly as present as me, especially for the first little while, but we'll see. Okay, so question number 2. What are some things that are unique that you can bring to Booktube? So I am not going to only talk about books. I love books, and books are a huge part of what I do in my spare time, but sometimes I'm going to be doing things that revolve around my other hobbies, like video games, probably co-op video games rather than single player, but we'll see. So I'll probably do some video games. I'll probably do some talk about D&D and GURPS and my characters and stuff like that with those. Maybe at some point we'll run a campaign on here. That would be kind of fun, get a bunch of my friends together and do that, but we'll see. No promises, no, don't get scared off yet. I've never DM'd in my life, and although I think that'd be really cool to try, I don't know if I could do it, but we'll see. So maybe that, and also another thing that I'm thinking about doing would be maybe some vloggy things. I don't know. We'll see. I just, I don't know what I'm gonna bring. But something that's more Booktube related that I plan on doing is I think it'd be really fun to create some tags and some challenges and stuff like that. So you can look forward to that sometime in the future. I'll be looking around Booktube and seeing if there's already tags that are the ones that I've been thinking of or not, but we'll see. But I really enjoy doing tags, so I think that bringing some new ones in would be a fun way to contribute to the community. So question number 3. What are you most excited for in this new channel? So I just want to talk to people about books. I rambled a lot in the other one, but that's really it. Open, close. Just want to talk to people about books. The next question is, why do you love reading? So I have always loved reading. I was read to when I was young, and I started reading when I was very young and have just always done it. So for me, I've always loved reading. I've always loved Dungeons and Dragons and GURPS. Well, GURPS is pretty new to me, but I love it very much for the same reason. I've always loved making the characters and seeing them all interact and the storytelling, and I've loved writing, and I just love that kind of stuff. And honestly, I think that it's because part of me feels like one life isn't enough. You know, like I can only do so much in this life, and I want to experience all of the different lives. I want to experience everything. And so my way of experiencing everything is just reading as many books as I can and playing different video games and writing and making these characters for D&D and GURPS and playing them out and role playing them. And those are all things that I'm really passionate about and love doing. And I just there's not enough life in my lives. I want to live all the different things. I want to try all the different options. I don't want to pick one career. I want to pick all of them. I don't want to pick, you know, one thing. I want to experience everything, just even if it's vicariously. It's just, I don't know. So that's why I think I love reading. So question number 5 is, what book or series got you into reading? That's a really hard question because I've read for so long. The first series, like, author I remember really falling in love with was Tamara Pierce because of her the Magic Circle, or the Circle of Magic, because of the Circle of Magic series. But I also really remember early on in my life, I fell in love with these books about the Holocaust. One book was called Lisa and the other book was called Jesper. It was a duology. I don't remember who it was by. I'll try to put it down below in the description if I can find it. I used to own them, and I don't know what happened to them. I must have lent them to someone. I hate that. Number 6 is, what question would you like to ask to your favorite booktubers? So I've been watching a lot of Peruse Project and loving her taste in books. I feel like we're really similar in our book taste, and so it's been really fun for me to like watch her books and get to choose out some books that I think that I would enjoy, because I am also a huge fantasy book nerd. So that's been really cool. And I think, what would I ask her if I could? I think I would probably ask her what a video that she's wanted to make but like hasn't been able to make would be, because I think that there will come a time when I will be ready to make videos that are a little bit less PG and a little bit more like liberal in what I talk about, like, in a way, you know, like I am really interested in anatomy and physiology, and I think that talking about some of that stuff and books that are more in tune with some of that would be an interesting thing for me to do. And like, as someone who's like in my mid-20s, my interests in books fluctuate sometimes to books that are not always kind of child-friendly and, like, you know, stuff like that. So and I'm not really sure how I'm going to incorporate that or like do those videos, so I'm kind of curious if like there are any books or book videos or books that she's kind of wanted to cover but hasn't found a way to yet, and if she has any thoughts on that matter. Another booktuber that I've been watching quite a lot is Kate's Book Day, and I think I would just ask her like how she managed to make kind of the shift of doing more than just books with her channel, because I am interested in doing so many different things with my channel, but like with a really heavy influence of books. So I think it would be cool to like see how she's juggled that and how she's finding that and the struggles and the things that she's found easy about making that kind of transition. Question number 7, and it says, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? For me, I think it's going to be like having consistent new videos being released and being good about that. We'll see. But I'm a little bit nervous about that. And the other thing I'm a little bit worried about is just being able to keep up with new books. Like, it's been so long since I've read like new releases. I feel like mostly I just have stayed in my little hidey hole with my favorite authors and my favorite books and just reread them over and over again. Not that I never read new books, but I'm kind of like apprehensively looking forward to that, because I'm worried that I won't be able to keep up with the amount of reading, especially with everything going on like just in my everyday life, but hopefully that'll be fine. And number 8 is, when did you start reading? Again, like, I always read. I remember my parents reading books to me when I was like ever since I can remember, and often they would have me read to them as well. So I've always read. Question number 9 is, where do you read? To which I've got a counter, where don't I read? Like, I read everywhere. And number 10 is, what kinds of books do you read? So I read a lot of different kinds of books. I read historical fiction, I read young adult, I read adult. I like to read books about physiology and anatomy because I'm a registered massage therapist, so that is obviously a huge interest to me. I enjoy reading poetry. I enjoy reading humor. There are a couple autobiographies that I've really enjoyed that I've picked up. Yeah, I have a huge mix of books that I enjoy, but I feel like those are most of them. Fantasy, I love fantasy, and I dabble in sci-fi. And I enjoy sci-fi, but I usually go to fantasy first. So that was my Booktube Newbie Challenge. I'm sorry about like kind of the switching back and forth, but I just really felt like I needed to refilm some of these, even though that one was kind of already done. And I could have filmed the whole thing again, but you know, I just really felt like past Kelsey had some really good insight there, and I didn't think that I'd be able to kind of recreate the same sentiment with the same. I just thought that it was better this way, if that. Anyway, so I hope that you enjoyed it, and again, I'm sorry about like the switching over if that was kind of a little bit tough for you. I hope that you enjoyed. Send me your own Booktube newbie tags if you've been doing them, or if you've done one before, or if you're about to do one. I can't wait to see it. And until next time, thanks. Bye.